Today, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear criticizing President Donald Trump's recent comments about phasing out the Federal Emergency Management Agency after hurricane season, saying it would blow a hole right in the Kentucky state budget. But some flood survivors telling us they believe less federal control could lead to faster response times. WHAS 11's Ian Hardwitt found out the new reaction.
President Donald Trump said that he would phase FEMA out and that governors will develop a system for natural disaster response. Will you be developing that system, and what's your reaction to that?
Yeah, I and every other governor in the country already have a system that responds to natural disasters. But phasing FEMA out is going to leave us with fewer resources and with less ability to respond quickly.
Since April's flooding, FEMA has given out $22 million in household assistance, but some of the people receiving that assistance are frustrated with the agency's timelines. For instance, this disaster recovery center in Boston opened up on May 27th, a month and a half after the floods already happened. Grass grows high around Tommy Hedden's old Boston, Kentucky home in Nelson County. How many appeals did you file total?
So far, 5.
5 appeals after this in early April, his house swimming in water. The Federal Emergency Management Agency gave Hedden around $10,000 total. Tuesday, President Donald Trump said FEMA should be phased out after hurricane season and that states would then get less federal money directly to deal with disasters.
Governor should be able to handle it. And frankly, if they can handle it, the aftermath, then maybe they shouldn't be governor.
But getting rid of them is a big mistake. It's going to make it harder to rebound from these disasters.
I've talked to some people who are going through the process. They say it takes months. They would like to see more state control because they believe that will speed things along. Do you see that as a possibility?
It's not who controls it, it's the amount of federal laws and regulations that have been put in place. So if they move it to the state but they don't change any of those laws and regulations, then we've got to check all the same boxes that they do. Now, if they want to give us a block grant and remove those regulations, yeah, we can do it for less and we can do it faster, but that's not what Congress is looking to do.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said governors should rely on each other during disasters,
so that they can stand on their own 2 feet with the federal government coming in catastrophic circumstances with funding. But we all know from the past that FEMA has failed thousands, if not millions of people.
Hedden feels failed.
You literally don't have an advocate to say, hey, here's my problem. You have individuals that work at a disaster center that really don't want to be there, you kind of feel like. Like you're interrupted their day because they were playing on their phone, they were taking a nap. I've seen that. I think the state can handle it better.
He said he also wants a buyout of his home since it's at future risk of flooding. That requires presidential approval of a hazard mitigation request, which the state submitted back in April.
Unfortunately, the administration has not yet granted hazard mitigation for either February or April or this last tornado event. They also haven't granted public assistance for April or this tornado event. So what that means is folks from April who are hit by flooding can't sell their property and use that to come to one of our high ground sites where we have a plot ready for them and we're ready to build. But on the public assistance side, it means the federal government isn't coming with the hundreds of millions of dollars, at least yet, that they normally provide to help us rebuild. What the president doesn't get is one major natural disaster can blow a hole in a state budget that's hard to recover from, and we have had 4 just this year alone.
So I know you voted for Trump.
I did.
Do you feel like you're getting what you voted for?
Yes and no. I think he inherited a department that's a disaster. It is a bureaucratic nightmare.
In Louisville, Ian Hardwitt, WHAS 11 on your side.
Well, FEMA said today that it has already given out $71.1 million to Kentucky households. That's the combined total between the February flooding, the April flooding, and the May tornadoes.